Welcome to Transformative Principal, where I help you stop putting out fires and start leading. I'm your host, Jethro Jones. You can follow me on Twitter at Jethro Jones. As part of the Summer of AI series that we're doing here on Transformative Principal, I am sharing a few episodes from other podcasts on the B Podcast Network. I encourage you to listen to them and check them out and learn more about the shows and the great work that so many people on the B Podcast Network are doing.
The day has finally come. It's the rise of the machines. Welcome to Secrets for an Awesome Life. You ever see someone living a pretty awesome life and wonder, man, do they know secrets that I don't? Yes, they do. And this podcast is about those secrets. I'm your host, Joey Mascio, a certified life coach who helps teens build self-confidence, develop social skills, and achieve their goals. Or what I call becoming the hero of their own story. Hey everybody, if you are interested in getting your teen private coaching with me this fall semester for a really low cost, listen up. I am developing a brand new form of coaching called drop-in coaching. It's not group coaching because group coaching is way less effective. Your teen will not get coached and open up the same way if they know 5 to 20 other teens are listening. Private coaching is the number one way, most effective way for teens to get coached. However, it's also the most expensive. My drop-in coaching is a solution to that. It's like a Groupon for private coaching, making it more affordable for more people. Teens who sign up can get coached privately by me up to 12 times this semester with no other teens listening into their business. It's just quick, casual, powerful coaching to give your teen the help they need when they need it. To find out more, go to joeymascio.com and sign up today. Registration just opened and spots are limited for this fall semester. And now episode 126, using AI to terminate homework. The robots have risen up and are taking over. It's pandemonium. Think of the children. It's the end of time. Mrs. Johnson, I just used AI to help me write my essay. Calm down. All right, guys, I'm super excited for today's topic and today's guest. I know it's been on all your guys' minds, so I wanted to do an episode on AI. And so today, my guest is Jethro Jones. He's a friend of mine, first off, all right? And he's a national award-winning former school leader, podcaster. He's written multiple books to help principals out. He's also the founder of the B Podcast Network, which is the Beyond Education Podcast Network that I joined this year. It's the best educational podcast network out there. And he's been a principal at all K through 12 school, levels, right? Principal of all grades, including a prison school. So this guy's legit. Jethro, welcome.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk to a bunch of teens about artificial intelligence. This is going to be good.
Yeah, I know. So it's here, right? I feel like it just got here like a year ago. And then within the past year, it's like, boom, AI is now a real thing that's not just in movies, right?
Yeah, well, it's become accessible in the last year, which means that anybody with an internet connection can now access artificial intelligence in a really powerful way. If you have a phone or you use any kind of technology, artificial intelligence has already been baked into a lot of those things. But the difference is now that it's really accessible, especially with ChatGPT, with Dolly, with Midjourney, and Perplexity, and a bunch of other ones that have come out. They are now accessible that normal, regular folks can use them and not just computer scientist nerds. That's the big difference.
So what I'm hearing is they've been infiltrating our lives for a long time, and we're just starting to really see them. The A.
Yes, that is exactly it. And so what I do now is I spend a lot of time going around talking to school principals, district leaders, teachers about how they can use AI tools to help them in the classroom and in their schools to be more effective at what they're doing.
Oh, nice. Well, that's good. But we're not here about them. We
No,
want to
we're
know.
not.
No, we're not. We want to know how we can use it. And I know teens are thinking like how I would be thinking. It's oh well, how can this make my life easier so I don't have to really do all that boring homework I'm always assigned. Right. So
Yeah,
I want to talk about some of that. So teens, I'm going to attempt to ask Jethro all your questions. All right. And let's see what comes out. How does that sound?
let's do it.
Okay. First off, how can I use AI to help me do all the homework that I think is boring and stupid and I don't want to do?
Yeah, well, I'm actually going to tell you a little different strategy.
Ooh.
I think that you should talk to your teachers and say, I can just have AI do this for me. Why don't we do something that is different that doesn't make it so easy for AI to do it for me? That would be my first approach. So I would encourage you to do that. You may not want to, but if you don't do that and you just want AI to answer your questions for you, you can definitely do that. You can go find any of these AI tools, chat GPT or whatever, and you can put in your questions and they'll give the answers. Let me give you a pro tip, because all teachers are afraid that you're just going to use this to cheat. Do not just put the question in there and then copy the answer and put that in. You can go ahead and do that, but then use that to rephrase it in a way that makes more sense to you, because that's going to be more beneficial for you to make it sound like you rather than sound like the AI. Because let me tell you, after having done this for just a couple weeks, you can already tell when something's written by AI and when it's written by a student. And it's very easy to tell. It's not difficult. Kids don't talk like computers. And so teachers will be able to figure it out real quick. So if you're trying to be sneaky, then rewrite it and make it in your own words. If you're not trying to be sneaky, what you can always do is there's a little link in ChatGPT up at the top where you can share it. And you just copy that link and say, put it at the bottom of your paper and say, I used AI to help me write this. And then your teachers really won't have much to say, because you're not plagiarizing, because you're citing your sources and you're sharing what you did to use it. And if they don't like that, well, then you can have a different discussion. But I'm pretty sure that they're not going to say something like you can't use AI at all. And if they do, I'd push back against that pretty heavily, because I promise you, they're using it. The principals are using it. In fact, I had a principal email me and say, Jethro, how do I use ChatGPT to write a policy against plagiarism using ChatGPT? And I was like, what are you talking about, man? That is crazy. You're trying to use the tool that you don't want the kids to use to basically do your work for you, because you don't want the kids to do that too. It's just mind boggling. So,
Oh my goodness, that's great. That reminds me of a course I took in my master's program of education. The professor quickly covered a chapter on how not to quickly cover chapters.
yeah, oh, that's funny.
And I looked around like, wait, is everybody else catching this? But those kind of things, the inaccuracies, people being hypocritical is what we might look at it for, right? Happen, right? Let's talk about the ethics of using AI, because I know some people listening and some of the teens' parents that might be listening in are like, whoa, hold on a second. Like, are you encouraging my teen to cheat with AI? Like, wait a minute. Or some teens might be like, well, I feel like I shouldn't use this, but then if everybody else is using it, what are the ethics around this?
Well, to me, the ethics are that you need to live aligned with your own values. And if your mind is telling you and your heart and your spirit is telling you that you should not use AI for schoolwork, then you should listen to that. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to Joey. Don't listen to anybody else. You listen to what your own personal values are, first of all. Second, if you decide in your family that this is not something that we should do, and first, you should really talk about it and ask your parents questions, um, and see what they really think about it and whether or not it is okay, and talk about the suggestions that I made of citing your source and saying I got this from ChatGPT or whatever. talk about it and see how they feel about it also. You might be surprised that your parents would be really interested to hear how you're planning on doing it and what you can accomplish with it. So when ChatGPT first came out, I took my daughter's assignments and I put in the questions and I just answered them for her high school freshman English class. And I was impressed with how good the answers were. And had she adjusted a little bit, I would have totally bought that she's the one that actually wrote it. And to me, that would have been totally fine because those questions were not really meaningful or valuable. They were basically just to check to see if you read the book or not. And if that's all it is, you might as well just say, did you read the book or not? Answer yes or no and be done with it. So, so we got to be real about that. And here's my third piece of advice. I would go to your teachers and talk about the cool things that you're doing and offer to help them with using AI for their classroom as well. Help them learn how to use AI themselves so that they can, instead of reading everybody's assignments, they can have the AI read it and give everybody their grades that much faster. You've turned in a paper and gotten it back 3 weeks later and you totally forgot what you even wrote. You didn't even remember what was there. And so the feedback is totally meaningless because it took so long to get back to you. So feel free to share with your teachers what you're using it for, how you're using it, what they can do with it, and how their lives can be easier too. Here's the thing, Joy. This is not going away. Like it is here, and it is too far past the mark that we can't put a stop to it and say, let's go back and not ever use it again.
I
It's
was
just
gonna
not going to
ask. I
happen.
was gonna ask, can like schools stop it from being used and make it so it's not usable
No, there's
somehow?
no, there's no way. They can on their own network with their own devices, but if any students have phones or internet access at home, they're not going to be able to prevent it. And so they're going to do really dumb things like spend time, money, and energy trying to detect when kids have used it, when really they should just say, if you're using it, let us know. We don't care. That's the right approach. That's the smart way to deal with it. But most schools are not going to do that. And there's going to be a policy saying you're not allowed to use it at all. And I think that you should resist that and say, that's crazy. We're not going to do that. Here's how I'm using it. And this is why it's okay for me to do it. And if kids are saying that to teachers, principals, school boards, superintendents, then they're going to have to go along with it. And they're not going to be able to put up much of a fight, to be honest.
Yeah, because it does become that game where it's like, all right, don't use it, and now everybody police to see if they're using it, and it's there to be used. And I love your answer on the whole ethics of it all, right, guys? It really comes down to you. If you feel like you have to like lock yourself in a closet, go to Chat GPT, right? Do this secretly. Oh no, mom's gonna see. Oh my teacher's gonna ask. If you feel like you're being shady, then don't do it, right? Like, don't be
Totally.
shady, but I want to talk about more about what you said about, okay, like using it, citing it. I love how you said, talk to your teachers and challenge them. And I totally would have been one of those teens who was like, look, like Mrs. So-and-so, I could totally write this and do, and you won't even know. You won't even know. And there's an element, I think, from being an English teacher at a middle school for 7 years. There's an element of, all right, I researched something on ChatGPT, I read through it, I regurgitated it. There's an element of that knowledge going into your head and coming out again in a different way. Like there's some learning there that you can glean from that. Um, but like, other than talking to my teachers and being like, look, hey, I want to do this, or you should change your assignment. Other than doing that, if you feel like you can't, or the school is like, no Chat GPT or whatever, what is a way then, other than citing it? Because I love that, the citing your source.
Mhm.
What is a way maybe then, if I want to use AI, but my school has said don't, but I'm like, but I feel like it's a good tool. What is another way maybe to use AI to help me with some of my work?
Yeah, that's a really great question. The other thing that you can do is use it as a thought partner where you ask it questions about what you're thinking about and try things out with it. So, for example, let's say you're writing an essay on To Kill a Mockingbird, for example, and you need to go in and give the perspective of something that happened with Scout and how she felt about all what was going on. And so you say, for example, to ChatGPT, I have to write this essay about Scout, I want you to give me feedback on my ideas and whether or not they're good. And so then you're using it as a partner to help you through the thinking process to understand better what you could write without having it do the writing for you. And so
Oh,
that's one way that you can start. Let's take a math example because this is really important. Uh, Surprisingly, ChatGPT really stinks at math and it will give you wrong answers often.
oh no.
So you don't want to use it to try to do math correctly because here's an example. I was trying to calculate a loan interest amount and a repayment thing and like have it do it all for me. I've done that in Excel and figured out how to do that. When I did it with ChatGPT, it gave me answers that were completely wrong. And because I understood what the numbers should be, I had a rough idea, but I didn't know the exact numbers to the penny. I saw that it was wrong. And I said, hey, you did that wrong. Why don't you fix that? And then it said, oh, I'm sorry for making that mistake. Here's the correct answer. And it was still wrong. And then I said, wait, that was still wrong, ChatGPT. You need to make it right. And then it said, oh, I'm sorry. Here's the correct answer. Still, it was not right. I could
Oh,
not believe it. It seems like it should be able to do that, but it wasn't able to. So I would suggest not using it for math because it's, for whatever reason, it's not good at that yet. There are other things that it is good at, like helping you analyze how you should write an essay or a story. Those are powerful things. It can do great at that. Doing math, not so much.
oh man. So there's a danger there where you're like, oh, look, this is great. And then you copy paste without even looking at it or reading it. Cause I assume it will probably do that as well, even with some English homework, right?
Yeah.
Um, where you go and like you just copy paste it, there, I did it, just to check the box. And then your teacher's gonna be like, 0, like, dude, you were way off. And either A, they know you use Chat GPT or AI, or B, they just think you're stupid. Like, wow, they
Yeah.
weren't even close. Like, what the heck? This person
Yeah.
does not get it.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. It seems like you can use AI to be the teacher at home with you. Like, is that possible? Because I know a lot of people are like, oh man, I wish I just had you here, Mr. Massio, when I was at home doing it. I had all these questions, but I couldn't, like I don't want them texting me when I'm at home. So can they use it like a teacher?
Yeah, they definitely can. And so what you can do is you can say, I need you to teach me about X, Y, or Z. And then you can have it ask you questions and quiz you, make sure you understand things. You can also ask it questions and have it give you responses. Now, it's not going to be able to teach you anything that happened after 2021. Anything
Um,
related to COVID-19, for example, is very, very limited. And I think they intentionally did not include a lot of that stuff because I've gotten really weird answers when I've asked
uh,
about COVID. And so those anything after 2020 basically it's not going to be very good. And then so like going back to math, for example, if you want it to teach you the Pythagorean theorem, it's very good at teaching you the Pythagorean theorem, but it's not very good at doing the Pythagorean theorem itself, if that makes sense.
yeah.
So it can teach it because it's taking more of uh, a language approach of how do I explain something rather than just doing functions, which is a very mathematical approach that surprisingly it's not always great at. So Pythagorean theorem, that is actually pretty simple. It can do that. I've tried it. It works. But other things, it struggles. Here's another thing. You find a video that you are watching on YouTube, right? And you go into that video and over on the right, down in the bottom, there's 3 little dots. You click those and it says show transcript, and you can remove the time codes and copy the transcript. You can paste that transcript into ChatGPT, and you can then have ChatGPT explain what is going on according to that video specifically. So let's say, for example, that you have a video that you need to watch on YouTube about a specific thing in school. Let's say photosynthesis. And so you take that transcript, you put it in ChatGPT, and according to that video, it will teach you what was in that video based on that video rather than based on everything else. And you just say, here's a transcript from a video. Please help me understand this better using this information here. And then you paste it, and then boom, you've got a whole bunch of information just from that one video. That is a really cool, neat feature that I think would be very beneficial for students.
Wow, that's so cool. Okay, so let's do a quick review here, and then I'll end with any final thoughts you have for teens starting school this year using AI. So using AI, Chat GPT, and there's other ones out there you mentioned. But if you're going to use it, you can copy, paste, and change. Right, go through and actually put it in your own words. Right, that's a way to use it. Remember, it's all about how you feel about that. If you feel that's right. Also, I would say it depends on if your teacher's like, do not use it. Well, using it and then not telling them, right? That probably will cross your ethical lines, but again, up to you. You can use it and then cite Chat GPT. I mean, hey, I use this, with help from Chat GPT. You can talk to your teacher, I think is what you said, and go, hey, look, this assignment can easily be done using Chat GPT, and I can get away with it. I know you don't want that, Mrs. So-and-so, but is there something else you can do? Or like, how about you read one of Jethro's books and you see how to, or whatever,
That's
right?
right.
And get some ideas, or listen to Jethro's podcast, because over on Jethro's podcast, he's been talking about summer of AI all summer, which has been great. So there was that. There was using it to reteach you, using it to clarify some things. I'm trying to think if there's anything I missed.
I think that's the gist of it. The other thing that you can do is to use it as a tutor who you can bounce
Right.
ideas off of.
Yes,
Which,
bouncing ideas off
yeah,
of. Okay.
that
Oh,
that is a really powerful thing also.
my goodness. Okay. So just in closing here, Jethro, final words for the teens out there who are now equipped with AI.
Yeah. So number one, recognize that this is a tool. And like any other tool, and many of the tools that Joy's been teaching you, uh, it is a tool. And if you use it well, then it can bless your life. And if you use it poorly, then it can not be beneficial to you. And so that would be my biggest thing, is recognize that it's just a tool. It doesn't know everything. It's not the be all and end all. It is just a tool. And like any other tool, if you use it well, you can find some really great things about it and do some really cool things with it. It's not something you need to be afraid of, or that your teachers or parents need to be afraid of. It's something that exists and is going to exist for a long time. So it's better to start understanding what it can and can't do, what its limitations are, what its abilities are, and then find ways to incorporate it appropriately into your life. Don't rely on it completely. That's not what I'm saying. But find places where it makes sense and works, and use it there.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you very much. That's some solid advice there. So make sure you guys follow that advice. Um, if there are people listening to this who want to hear more from you, maybe some parents, or if a teen's like, I want to see what Jethro's up to, where can people find you?
Yeah, jethrojones.com is my website. That's where anybody can go and reach out to me there. There's a little button on the bottom that says, want to talk? Let's schedule a call. Feel free to schedule a call. I'll be happy. If you are a teenager who wants to chat with me, then I want to make sure your parents are aware of it. So make sure you let them know, add them to the calendar invite so that they can be there also. And that's just how we keep everybody safe and make sure that we're doing good stuff. So
Nice.
feel free to reach out, jethrojones.com.
Oh, awesome. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Teens, do you want to be more confident? Do you want to be better at talking to others? Do you want to finally start working out or staying ahead of your schoolwork? Then you gotta switch into hero mode. And the best way to do that is to join my brand new gamified mindset training program just for teens, Sidekick to Hero. It's like YouTube and video games had a baby, but that baby doesn't waste your time. It helps you become happier and more successful in your real life. It's available now on desktop only at sidekicktohero.com. Go grab a parent and start your 2-week free trial today.